Donald Trump made a lot of headlines this week. He usually does, but it wasn't because we were days away from the Iowa caucus or the New Hampshire primary. It's his legal troubles that continue to fill much of his time. This week, his civil trial in New York City, which could determine if he's allowed to keep doing business in New York, wrapped up. The lawyers working for the former president in Jack Smith's January 6 case, for which he has already been criminally charged, made a new argument to get him out of trouble. NBC 10 Boston political commentator and my At Issue co-host Sue O'Connell joins us. Sue, Trump's attorneys say he's immune from any charges related to the January 6 case. They say as president, he had a duty to look into accusations of voter fraud and election meddling. Trump, of course, was the one who was making those allegations. So how do you see that argument holding up?
You know, Corey, I talked to a legal expert this morning, and he characterized that defense as insane. That's a quote. Basically, Trump's defense is that a sitting president could use the Navy SEALs to assassinate a political rival, and then if the president resigned before being impeached, there's no crime there, right? So the argument isn't just Donald Trump could do this, but any president, which, stating the obvious here, is a bold claim for a person who the sitting president claims has assaulted democracy. I mean, just think about that for just a second, all right? So if voters needed a clearer idea of how Trump views the powers of the presidency and how he thinks they should be used, I think this legal defense should pretty much sum all that up for them.
Sue, Jack Smith's case is just one of several hanging over Donald Trump's head. He has a lot of court dates coming up, and he's telling reporters he wants to be at all of them. Won't that impact his ability to campaign and hold rallies, which he loves so much? Yeah,
I mean, he's had fewer rallies, obviously, Corey, but I think being in court is actually Trump's campaign strategy. He did just announce a rally on Saturday, January 25th in Manchester. That's just days before the New Hampshire primary, and that's newsworthy because it hasn't been the norm, as you said. But if you've been wondering how Trump will campaign while defending himself in court, and in some instances choosing to be in court, and in other instances being compelled to be there, he's been using the trials and the procedures as a method of campaigning, both inside the courtroom and outside the courtroom. Just look at the closing arguments this week in that New York fraud case. Now, if I were Trump, I might be defending myself to try and decrease the fine amount, but Trump used the opportunity to verbally attack the judge, which helps him forward his grievance narrative, which is part of his campaign strategy.
So if he's banking on the cameras and the attention being on him because he's appearing in court, that raises a good question for all the journalists like you and I who are covering him. Are we giving him what he wants? How do we best cover him as a candidate?
You know, there's no easy answer for that, Corey. We spent a lot of time talking about it. We spent a lot of time talking about Chris Christie's hot mic moment, or Nikki Haley's statements about the Civil War, or Ron DeSantis' heels. But Trump says he believes, as president, he has the right to kill his political rivals. And at a town hall, he said he was responsible for overturning the right to abortion, and continues to say wrongly that his woes are because Joe Biden has persecuted him. And we barely mention it because, as abnormal as it is, it's normal for him. So we just have to keep on trying.
All right, NBC 10 Boston political analyst Sue O'Connell. Sue, enjoy your weekend. Get some sleep because you and I have a very big week coming up next week. We're ramping up our political coverage, and beginning Monday night at 7:30, At Issue will be live to cover the biggest stories from the campaign trail. We're going to have guests, live reports, and analysis ahead of the first in the nation New Hampshire primary. And remember, you can also catch us every Sunday morning at 11:30, right after Meet the Press.